Hey guys, looks like my Mezzabarba Trinity just showed up, and I wanted to do an unboxing and first impressions of the amplifier and, just share the moment with you guys. So let's go ahead and unbox this beast and see how it looks and give it a quick playthrough and see how it sounds on all three channels. The box arrived in really good shape, actually. FedEx did a great job. I don't see any dings, scratches, nothing on this box. So they must have saw the name and were like, oh man, we don't want to mess this up. So anyway, yeah, I've been looking forward to this. It's been a long wait, and I'm sure it's worth it. So I got it custom. I got the custom burgundy snakeskin Tolex, and I also got custom lighting inside. I got the purple lights. Purple's my favorite color, so why not, right? Yeah, it's packed very nice. And here is a manual, which I will definitely read because there's a lot of great features on this amplifier. So, wow, some interesting looking foam. This came all the way from Italy. Wow, that looks really cool. That Tolex looks really badass. Alright. IEC cable. And I bet the foot controller and everything is underneath it. Alright, here's the moment we've been waiting for. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this box after I get the amp out. Got this table next to me. There we go. Alright, so now let's get the plastic off of it so you guys can see what's underneath. There she is, in all of her glory. Side view. There's the back. Looks like something is wrapped on the inside on top as well. I'll have to check that out as well before I turn it on and see what that is. Looks like there's some stuff wrapped up in here. It might be the tubes. Might have to pull the this little vent cap off and pull that wrapping off or something. So let me read the manual, get that all taken care of, and then I'll give you some close-up shots on the amplifier next, and I'll do a quick playthrough on the amplifier as well. Alright, here's a front shot of the amplifier. Still has the packing around the tubes. I got to pull that out yet, but I just wanted to give you a quick look at it. Okay, and here's the back of the amp. You have all the different speaker outputs, MIDI, and various volume, depth, presence, and feedback knobs, fuses and whatnot. And then there's the top. Okay, I just fired it up. It's in standby right now, so I haven't heard it yet, but that's what it looks like on the inside with the lights on. This camera angle is just not doing it justice. It looks absolutely glorious. What a beautiful piece of workmanship this is. Okay, so I got the amp all fired up now, and I have everything set at noon on all 3 channels. And I'm going to go ahead and do a quick dial-in and first impression of each channel, starting with the clean channel, which is channel 1. And I'm going to do it without effects at first, then I'll go ahead and add the effects afterwards and see where we're at. Okay, so with the bright switch on, it sounds nice and chimey, but even without it, it still sounded really good. I'll do it. I'm going to turn the bright switch off again and turn it back on while I play, and you can hear what it does. We're off to a great start with the clean channel. I mean, everything's at noon right now, and it sounds very usable. So I'm going to go ahead and tweak it a little bit and move on to the next channel. Sounds great. All right, let's go ahead and put some effects on it and see what we got. Sounds awesome. Clean channel is freaking amazing. I only tweaked it for a couple minutes and we're good to go on that. Alright, so now let's move on to channel 2, and this is the channel I'm most concerned about. I just hope it has enough gain for what I like to do. And all of the videos I've seen so far have been inconclusive. Nobody's really talked about it the way, well, at least the way I needed them to talk about it so I could be confident about this channel. So I'm kind of on pins and needles right now. So let's find out what channel 2 has to offer in the Mezzabarba Trinity. I'm going to go ahead and start with the overdrive pedal off, and then once I get the amp dialed into my taste, I'm going to hit it with the overdrive and keep it on for the rest of this segment. And the overdrive I'm using is the Precision Drive. Alright, it sounds good, but I'm still a little concerned about whether or not it has enough gain for me. I mean, if I crank it too much, it gets a little muddy, and then there's a boost here. So I'm going to try to find a balance between the drive knob and the boost, because if you get too much gain, sometimes it gets kind of muddy, and that's not what I want. I want a really nice pick attack, and I want some clarity and aggression. I'm going to go ahead and kick the pedal on now, because obviously it does not have enough, rage without the pedal, which is okay. I use a pedal on every amp anyways, not a big deal. So let's go ahead and engage the overdrive now and see if it's got enough balls for what I do on channel 2. Not bad. I'm seeing some signs of hope here. It's got a very interesting top end. It reminds me a little bit of the YJM, the Yngwie Malmsteen amp. There's like this interesting top end on it where it's a bit soft, but also there's some aggression in there as well. It's interesting. Let me do some fast runs on here and see if it reminds me of that. 1 second. Yes, it is reminiscent of that amplifier. There's like a little bit of a softness to it. Now, I know that there are some knobs on the back, like the feedback knob. Let me turn that and see what that gives me. So in the back, the presence, depth, and feedback knobs are all at top dead center. They're right at noon. So I'm going to go ahead and turn those knobs now and see what those do to this channel. All right, we're there. We're definitely getting there, and I think with some more fine tuning, I can really get this amp to freaking jump right off this table. So what I did was I turned the zero feedback knob to about 2 o'clock, and I bumped the presence up just a hair and just gave it a nudge on the depth. And all of a sudden this amp just came alive. All of that really good aggression and top end came out. And it's interesting because it's mixed with a little bit of that softness. So it's just really unique sounding. Makes you want to dig the pick into the strings a little more, and it's really rewarding to play. And it's got this really nice stringy sound, so all the note separation is there. So when I do those big chords and stuff, I can hear all the strings ringing and vibrating, and it's just really interesting with the clarity that I'm getting here. I'll tell you, this is one of the most overlooked channels in all of the videos that I've seen. Nobody has been very descriptive about this channel. They kind of just skip over it. They're like, oh, okay, there's channel 2, and let's go on to channel 3. You should spend more time on channel 2. That's a really special channel on this amplifier. It's got a lot of great characteristics to it, and I really like it a lot. So basically on channel 2, I have the drive at 7, which is 2 o'clock, and I have the boost on. So I didn't have to crank the drive all the way up to get the amount of aggression and gain that I needed on this amp. So completely relieved about that. So now let's move on to channel 3. Alright, so now we're on channel 3. I'm going to start with the boost pedal off, and then I'll go ahead and turn it on once I get it dialed in the way I like it. The boost switch is off on the channel as well, so let's go ahead and see where we're at. Alright, so the gain on channel 3 is at 5, which is noon. Okay, just so you know what we're talking about here. And I have the boost off, and it's already given me a lot of really good texture and a lot of promise as far as what I would look for in channel 3 for a lead or maybe even a rhythm and lead channel. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and engage the boost on the amplifier. There's a boost here on the amp that gives you a little more push, a little more gain. And it's not an overdrive boost like an overdrive pedal. It just gives you a little more gain, and it changes the tone of the amp just a little bit. And I'm going to engage that here and see what that's like on channel 3, and then I'm going to dial it in a little further, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn on the precision drive and tweak it from there. I'm just going to give it a quick listen without my in-ears and just listen to it in the room and tell you what I'm experiencing there as well. Alright, so first impressions, I'm very pleased. I'm really glad I got this amplifier, and the things that I noticed right away is it definitely has its own tone and character going on all three channels, especially channel 2 and channel 3. And one of my favorite features on the amplifier so far is the feedback loop knob. I mean, I can't believe what an impact that knob has on your sound. It seems like when you go past noon, the further past noon you go with it, the more modern it gets, and it gets really aggressive. And then it softens up when you go below noon. So maybe below noon is kind of like the classic rock kind of sound and feel, and then when you go past it, you're definitely stepping into modern territory. And that's really cool that this amplifier has that feature and allows you to do that. I've never used a knob like that before. It's really cool. The other thing I like is the boost on the amp. It just changes the character of the tone a little bit and the feel. It's subtle as far as how it sounds, but there's a different feel going on there. Maybe as I play it more, I'll probably hear the tonal differences that it gives me. But right now I'm noticing the feel more than anything else, but it does give it a little more aggression. And again, I was literally worried about channel 2, whether or not it was going to work for me as far as how much gain it had and how much aggression it had, but it absolutely does work for me, especially when you engage the feedback loop knob. That really makes a huge difference. So if there's other YouTubers out there that have reviewed this amplifier, you guys need to go back and review channel 2 more and go more in depth with that channel. I mean, I've never seen anybody go in depth with that channel, and it's just really interesting how everybody just kind of passes it over like it's an afterthought or something. It's a really good channel, and if you dial it in properly, especially with the feedback loop knob, you could really get it to do some really great modern things. And the reason why I say this is a really expensive amplifier. Reviewers should be going more in depth with the features and the sounds and feels of all the different channels on this amplifier. I feel like I've covered more of that in my first impressions video than most people have in long videos. It's really weird. This is a very expensive amplifier. People should be giving it more in-depth content than what I've been seeing out there. So, but I will definitely do that. I will definitely go in depth with this, but I just wanted to give you guys like my first impressions on the amplifier. So Wednesday night, we're going to freaking go live with it, and I'll answer all your questions and all that stuff as well. So stay tuned for that, and I look forward to really putting this amp through its paces and digging into it and seeing what it really has to offer. I hope you guys enjoyed this first impressions video of the amplifier. Again, I will go more in depth with it down the road, but so far I'm very pleased with the way it looks, the way it sounds, and the way it feels, and I love the features. And I'm so glad that I'm able to add an amp like this to the family of amps that I have, and it's unique enough where it stands out big time. I don't want to have all of the same amp here. I mean, otherwise, why wouldn't I just buy one amp and just keep it, right? So I love the fact that it's unique, and I think it's going to be a nice addition to the collection. Well, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And to all my subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And stay tuned to the channel because I got a lot of great stuff coming up, and I'll see you on the next one.